Assume the position.
To the Joe Cronin Show.
Oops. Didn't mean to play that. Welcome to Out of Nowhere, episode number 89. And we are here with the two sexiest individuals I have ever seen in my entire goddamn life. No, I'm just kidding. But no, they're pretty good looking.
Aww.
No, I'm just...
I was rubbing my nipple and everything. Damn it.
You guys are pretty good looking.
Oh, Connor and OK Faber here. That's the two sexiest individuals.
For some reason, you disappeared. Oh, there you are. There we go.
Hey.
You were just a big white. You were like so white that like it was like you for a second you were so white you were the leader of the. Well, never mind. That was
I
really
get that a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, no, not you, Connor. But okay, sure. Yeah, because you're glowing too.
You've got this nice sheen.
You got this nice shine of sexy. I always enjoy the things behind you, Connor. Like in all your, because there's a progress over the years of different things.
Yeah, all sorts of crap.
I remember my former co-host came here years ago to my house, all the way from Germany, and I was in the corner over there, and the door was behind me, and he got here, and he was like, "This is it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in my living room." He's like, it just seems so much cooler on TV for some reason. I'm like, you think a door seems cooler on your television or whatever? And I'm not on TV, it's YouTube, but okay. No, but yeah, so I thank myself for all those years of being in a metal band so that I could record my own intro to a show on YouTube. That's what it got. That's what it was for. 5 years of that. Mom paying for like the record to be made when we were like 15. You know, all that stuff. All the guitar lessons or drum lessons and everything I had. It was all just so I could eventually make an intro to my own YouTube show. It's kind of funny how things happen. But
paid off.
Listen, there's a few things to talk about tonight for sure, but I want to go right into the 205 Live thing. And by the way, we're going to take phone calls tonight. We're going to take a lot of phone calls tonight. I'm also going to go live on Twitch in a minute, so we're going to transfer over to Twitch after we're done a few things here, and that's fine. And then we'll go to Connor from OK Fabe is here. Subscribe to him on YouTube, youtube.com/OKFaber. And, of course, Jake DeMarco at youtube.com/countdownended. Now you're a white dot again. But no, now you're back. So, 205 Live, Triple H, here we go. So this guy, Triple H, this guy, like we don't know who he is, Triple H is in charge of NXT, man. He's killing it. And now, all of a sudden, he has 205 Live duties. Can he do this? Can he do what he does in NXT on 205 Live? Like, I mean, do you think that he... I mean, there's so much to think about. Like, oh, he probably sees this as, oh, what if I make 205 Live successful now? Now it's like, look, two things successful, and there's not this weird... I feel like there's less of a vendetta with Vince compared to Paul Heyman. Like, because Vince wants to see Triple H succeed in a different way because it's his son-in-law, his daughter's husband. So all those things factored in, Connor?
I think if they change the direction of the show, then yes, I think it has a chance to succeed. I don't know if it's so much the whole relationship with Triple H and Vince per se, but I think it's more just what the platform's going to be, because Vince oversaw 205 Live right from the get-go, and you could tell that they were pushing characters. He was basically turning it into, and I don't know if everybody else got the same thing as I did, but I got remember ECW 2008 vibes? I got that kind of vibe from 205
Yeah, where he opens
Live.
up with, the zombie and
Yeah.
It's just like corny, cheesy stuff. I get what Vince was trying to do. He was trying to get trying to get them to have characters and get them over and have try to get us invested in. But I've watched 205 Live just in the last 2 weeks, which is supposedly when Triple H took over. He's been in charge for the last 2 weeks, apparently. And you can tell, not just the whole tournament, the Drake Maverick Rockstar Spud as GM, but just the tone of the show has changed very much, from not just the match quality has gotten so much better, but also they're doing vignettes to show you, hey, like on NXT, this is why you should give a shit about a guy. So if they're changing it to what I'm seeing as like a weekly version of the Cruiserweight Classic, I think it could definitely succeed, provided they don't burn out the talent and get them, too injured too fucking quickly from all the crazy shit they're doing. If they play it safe, I think this thing could be a complete positive revamp for the entire brand. And if Triple H knows that going into it, it's got nothing but a chance to succeed much better than what it was before.
Is he going to change the commentary?
No. I don't think he's going to change.
I don't think I'm fans of that. Jake, what do you think?
I mean, you summed it up nicely. The main problem that they had was, Vince was so character driven initially, and that's why he pushed Enzo to be, on the forefront of things. And the problem with that is that it came across as cringeworthy, and you didn't end up caring about, any of these guys. They didn't feel special, when really what they need to be doing is differentiating themselves from the rest of the pack. Yes, they can wrestle, but we already have some characters. We have, mid-card jobbers, things like that. We want to see what these guys can do. Why were they so revered elsewhere in other promotions? So once they're able to differentiate themselves by what? Their wrestling skill, that's what needs to be showcased here. Then, that's why everybody enjoyed the Cruiserweight Classic. There was some story in there, but it wasn't, at the forefront of anything. Some people had a minor history. There was some bad blood between us, a few people, but there was no major feud, really. It was all about the wrestling, what these guys can do, what they're capable of, the high-flying, ultimate elevation, constant going. They brought it to 11, and that's what made it excellent. I see Triple H as being able to, still give you a reason to care with some of the characters, but it won't be as comedy-driven. It'll be more showcasing what the abilities these men have.
Agreed.
I think that's going to make it much, much more enjoyable.
Well, I'm going to put on the phone. I got someone on the phone real quick. 203, what's up? Nope, we lost him. Go ahead, Connor.
I was just going to say, I've been watching only the last couple of weeks just because of obviously the changes they were going to make. And my God, the main event of 205 Live this week was Roderick Strong versus Hideo Itami. Like, if you liked Ring of Honor back in the day, Jesus Christ. And not that it was like a 5-star classic, but it was still a very damn good match. And I've always said that about 205 Live. You actually watch the show, the matches are pretty damn good, but just like there's no reason to give a shit about it. And if at least this tournament, if nothing else, and if they can spurn shit off of it that actually is not like cheesy, hokey storylines, like it could really do well. But I mean, the matches they've got supposedly, if these guys are going to come in constant, like Tyler Bate, the UK guys, Mark Andrews is going to be in there next week. They got some chance to have some really good shit going on 205 Live.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
I think some people had been saying before this news came out, they were like, "Oh, I got to watch 205 Live. I heard it was good," and I'm like, "What? Where's that coming from?" And then this news comes out after that. So, 661 called and now we lost him. I don't know why that's happening. We're dropping people.
Yeah, I definitely, if you guys haven't, go back and watch. It was this past week. It was the last Tuesday night. It was Roderick Strong and Hideo Itami. It definitely, there's a sick bump where like I think Roderick Strong was like picking up Hideo and he like looked like he was gonna do like picking him up with one leg and just like threw him against the apron. It just looked absolutely nasty, but it was a fun match for sure.
And they have such a diverse roster, that they are able to mix it up without giving you the same matches over and over. And I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to as well. Seeing pointful, and meaningful feuds, things that have a point to them. Everything has been, 3-on-3 multi-tag matches because sadly they only give them enough time to have one match on Raw. So they're trying to get as many people on to showcase as much as possible.
But I liked what they did on Raw, though. Like Raw, it was
now moving forward, yes, but previously it was just a 2-minute match with 8 guys in the ring.
Right, but at least this Monday Night Raw, I mean, granted, we all know that basically the Cruiserweights on Raw are commercial for 205 Live, but they did a hell of a job hyping it up. They had Drake Maverick on commentary. They had the graphics. He gave you a reason to give a shit about the show, as opposed to like, oh yeah, they're Cruiserweights, purple rope, yay! Like
exactly, that's my point. Instead of seeing the same things over and over, I think going forward they're gonna work more to sell the brand as a whole and not just have it be a piss break. I hope. Because these guys are incredibly talented. And there was also a little update today, rumor killer on Hideo Itami leaving WWE. That's not true at all. He's going to be in 205 Live, a little bit longer than what people expected him to be, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I'm not going to lie, like the rumor that Ricochet would go to 205 Live when he signed, I'm not as upset now if this is the case.
Yeah, no, I was a bit salty at first. I was worried as well, but I mean, Ricochet is one hell of a talent, and to hear that he was going to be relegated to 205 certainly felt like a punishment of sorts. As where NXT was viewed that at one point in time, when that was first getting off the ground. Now it's the place to be. Hopefully that's what NXT turns into as well, or excuse me, 205 Live. Hopefully that's what that turns into as well. So I'd like to see them go ahead and not only have it be a training ground, but also a stepping point to actually mean something. You graduate from there to the main roster, but also have it be its own identity. It'd be nice.
Yeah, I would
more wrestling content, the better.
It would be cool if we could see people from NXT going to 205 Live, or have some kind of saving grace where it's like, hey, if somebody's really good in NXT and you don't want them to go to the main roster, hey, maybe they'll go to 205 Live. And then if that's really good and that becomes mainstream, then you might start to see the rest of the company follow in those footsteps. Because if those formulas start working, well, we know NXT's formula works, but but in a way, does it work yet in NXT? Because I feel like, oh, and by the way, if you guys want to donate tonight to the show, the link is in the description box down below. Also, the Super Chat is active. Ask questions, make comments, do all that stuff, and support the show through the donations. I would say that NXT, they need to get to the point, if you really want NXT stuff to start pushing over into the WWE main roster, you would think that you've had to have sellouts all the time, so much demand, way more demand. Right now they're sort of doing what the main roster is doing, right? They're selling out sometimes, but sometimes they don't at all. It's 80% full. So it's weird. They're keeping the same pace with the main roster, but they're doing it with a much smaller audience, so it's equally as impressive.
Right. Absolutely. And you went to the Cruiserweight show, right, Connor, you said?
Yeah,
I mean, it thoroughly enjoyed it.
I really loved the show, to be honest with you. I thought they gave plenty of time for the matches. I thought the heels were great. I mean, mostly the baby faces won, but still I enjoyed the hell out of it. What I was going to say to Joe's point was, NXT kind of has I feel like an open door feel to it when it comes to the Cruiserweights now, the UK tournament, which obviously, or the UK division, which really hasn't gone off the ground. I get that. But if you can put 205 Live in that same bucket, you have a chance to have some amazing stuff happens. How they utilize the UK tournament and the UK championship on NXT. You could do the same thing with the Cruiserweights. And if you put them all in that pile together where you have NXT bleed over to the UK, NXT bleed over to 205 Live bleed to here, you have some chance to really have some amazing stuff happen from whichever brand you're a fan of.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm excited for what they could do, especially Triple H. I just wonder how much he's, really involved in the whole thing at this point, over there. God damn, that Skype video eats up a lot of PC. Oh my God, I had to get rid of that.
The one time I'm on camera, the one time.
No, this is okay. What I did was I used the widget that builds in Skype into the thing, and I heard my computer. I saw how HD it was, and I was like, damn, it looks sick. And then I heard my computer start going, it's really working.
And that's when it starts to
fucking stop.
Yeah. So I was like, forget that, dude. There's been a problem all night with us, with the YouTube and broadcasting and resolutions. So we've been good tonight. We've been good here, it looks like, though. We're just
My camera keeps going out on your stream, and all that sorts of stuff.
White as a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But
I am here though. I see it on my screen. I see my.
It might look a little more pixelated to the people watching than usual, and that's because I went with the lower, the lower bit rate. That way we wouldn't crash the stream, tonight. So that's the reason for that.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. Hopefully that saves 205 Live and keeps it going and puts it in a direction where we want to watch it. Because I heard people say that the show was good the other night, and I thought maybe I'll go look at it. And it's easy to pull it up on my computer, so I think I'm gonna watch it. And it's had good moments other times. I haven't even been fair to it because I've been to a lot of shows this year. SmackDown. Me and Connor remember our show where it was the best matches of the night, and
yeah,
it was like why haven't I been watching it even? And I think it's just because we're so drained from wrestling. Unless there was a compelling storyline that you really wanted to find out about. Because at the time the storylines were just stupid. It was like they're just all over the place. It was I remember something about the powder exploding in somebody's face and Alicia Fox was there
so
and we were just like, what is going on?
Yeah, it was a bit ridiculous.
The storylines weren't really that strong. It was just basically for the sake of them, and then they end in 2 weeks.
Yeah. 518's on the phone. What's up, 518?
What's good, Joe?
What's up, man?
So I just had a quick question. So earlier today, I was going through kind of what my WrestleMania match card would be, and I had 15 matches on there. Do you have any idea how they can get all these matches in there with the time they got?
Yeah, I mean, well, they got, what are they going to have, 7 hours. So 3 or 4, probably 4 matches on the pre-show. And probably a couple of those matches you think are going to happen won't happen, and those people will be in the Battle Royal, I'm assuming.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Well,
all right. I'll let y'all go. Have a good night.
All right, no problem, man. Yeah, it's a lot of matches. 15 matches he had planned out.
I mean, that's not unrealistic considering you have 9 titles on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean it is really out of control, man. The tag team titles and the women's championship. I used to be not sure what I thought about splitting those up, but now more than ever, I feel like these gotta be separate. There's got to be one on one show and one on the other or something.
I kind of agree with you there. I wish the women even had their own show, kind of like 205 Live did.
Oh, boy. That's coming now, Jake. Good job.
I wouldn't doubt it, at some point. But one of the things I want to talk about, too, is that I guess, last year we saw the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Royal, over the top rope, match get relegated to the pre-show. And unfortunately, it didn't really matter. It just, what did we see? Mojo won. I mean, the Gronkowski moment was kind of cool to see, but wasn't really anything special. Didn't do anything for Mojo. None of the winners really got a great rub with it so far. I mean, who won? Cesaro, Big Show, and
Corbin,
and Baron Corbin.
It's all been a waste. It's all been wasted.
Yeah, it really hasn't. Nothing's. Been a great deal from winning the match.
I think the elimination was cool, if I remember. Wasn't the Big Show eliminating someone or being eliminated? That was cool. Didn't Cesaro
eliminated the Big Show the same way they slammed Andre, and Hogan slammed Andre.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was a memorable thing for me. I thought that was memorable. I liked that.
That was the first iteration of it, I believe.
Yeah, that was the
first
one.
And they had big plans for Cesaro, and then he got held back, quite a bit as well. But I guess this year, this is the 5th annual Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Royal match. Such a mouthful. And this is going to go ahead and open up the show, I guess, is the plan right now, because it's going to coincide with a documentary that comes out 2 days later on April 10th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it could lead to more projects with HBO and Bill Simmons, who's reportedly a huge fan of the man behind the camera, for the upcoming release of the documentary they're doing about Andre the Giant. So there's actually an HBO Andre the Giant trailer out that came out this week, and they're showing, a bit of his history and whatnot. It looks very interesting, but I guess that they're going to make this, be as tied into the documentary as possible for HBO. So they're using this just to advertise the documentary. So they're going to have the match open up, WrestleMania, but I guess they're also planning on whoever wins the match is going to be getting a big push. So
Hello?
We've heard that before.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess they really want to make it noteworthy, at least at first, anyhow. We'll see what comes of it, but
Again, that seems very familiar.
yeah, they've said all this before, so I'm not going to put much stock into what's said here, but I can see why they're trying to tout this as much as possible.
Yeah.
They want to get all eyes onto the Andre the Giant, documentary. So
I wonder if Gronk's gonna do something, because like it seemed like who was it that Jinder crapped on him? Wouldn't that make sense to give Jinder something to do after everything he did all year? To put him in the ring with a guy like Gronkowski, poor Big Show would be snubbed again, because I feel like that once again is Big Show's spot. Although you could put Gronkowski in there with Jinder, have Jinder's entourage attack Gronkowski, and have the Big Show come out to help Gronkowski at WrestleMania, and that be like the Big Show's last moment.
Well,
Look at
here's the
32,
problem.
they had all the celebrities in there.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Big Show not doing too well. I don't know if you guys know, but
What?
he underwent hip surgery back in September, and he was recovering well for 3.5 weeks, and then he developed a fever. They found out that he had a surgical staph infection, and he had to go and have surgery again. So they took the metal implants out, cleaned them, flushed the wound, flushed the implants, and then they had to go forward with treatment, re-implant the hip metal implants. From there, Big Show, said that he had to have a PICC line placed in his arm. So that's direct IV access that stays in permanently. That's a line that goes, from one of the main veins in your arms to your heart. And he had to have, for the next 7 weeks, IV antibiotics 3 times a day for 8-hour shifts administered to him.
Jesus.
Big Show said it was a very stressful situation. He couldn't go to the gym. He couldn't get his blood pressure up or do anything of the sort. Then he said that they got the PICC line on January 2nd, or out, I think they meant. Since then, he's dropped 27 pounds, and he's hoping for the best over the next 6 to 8 months that are paramount to his recovery.
Oh, my God. So he's not going to be at WrestleMania.
No, Big Show also alluded that he'd like to assume a backstage advisory role in the future going forward to help teach younger talent ring etiquette and how to think of themselves as a brand. He emphasized that this is the best time of his career, as he has no pressure on him and could just go out and have fun with the fans. He has a direct quote here. He says, "A lot of times talents get wrapped up in the me instead of we. There's no I in team. WWE is a team, so."
Big Hogger just donated $5, and Big Hogger, Big Hogger said, "Where are the donations? Let's do this. Rollins should have won the Rumble," says Big Hogger. I don't know. Like I like Rollins. I like Seth Rollins. And for a minute I thought maybe he could win the Rumble. Like I was like, "Oh, that would probably be cool, right?" But then after a little while I said, "You know what? I'm glad I don't think he's winning the Rumble, because I did pick oh my God, I almost said I did.
We almost said Yokozuna.
I almost said Yokozuna.
I thought that's what you were going for.
Close enough.
I did pick Nakamura to win. Dude, I legitimately, like, it's not even like I caught it, but like I almost said Yokozuna, like straight out, just nothing, like it moved on. I don't know.
Take a re to the face.
Jesus. I'm sorry, but no, yeah, I love Seth Rollins. He had those cool flaming pants that look just like the flaming pants that everybody made in the WWE Attitude video game in '98. I was like, those are straight out of the custom generic pants from that game.
Oh my God. But yeah, I don't think I wouldn't have minded, but I think Nakamura should have won. I'm on the same boat with you. Maybe next year, depending on how he does in 18, but we'll see.
What else you got,
it
Jake?
It wouldn't be the worst choice, that's for sure. I could see Seth winning and going on. I wouldn't have minded seeing him face Brock Lesnar, because I think they still could have gotten to AJ and Nakamura without Nakamura winning the Rumble. I think there's a few steps they could have taken to have that happen without Nakamura needing to win the Rumble. I think it's good that he won. It helps his character, but I mean, we'll see as far as what they do for the rest of the build-up to WrestleMania. Bit of news: since Jason Jordan underwent surgery, Seth Rollins obviously needs a tag partner, and go figure, it's not Roman Reigns that they're testing him with. It's Finn Balor. So at the upcoming house shows that they had this past week already, and going forward, it's going to be Finn Balor and Seth Rollins facing the Bar Cesaro and Sheamus. So that's kind of an interesting pairing. I like that.
It's so weird though. Like, stop. Like, it's not working.
I know it is odd, but I mean, at least for house shows at this current point in time.
Oh, Jake's like, that's pretty interesting. Joe's like, stop.
I just can't believe it.
I'm a big fan of Finn.
Keeps teasing AJ Rollins love.
Sarah Small, I'm so glad Nakamura keeps teasing AJ Rollins. I think she means she loves Rollins, and yeah, that Nakamura keeps teasing AJ. Yeah, man.
It's a weird interaction on SmackDown. Like, I get it. They're trying to, like, they're putting him in the back burner because they're putting the focus on the belt, but it was just a very weird. Then again, Nakamura's always been weird.
Yeah, he is always weird.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. So I guess their plan is with Finn and Seth, they want to see how, fans react to them two pairing up. But I as far as house shows go, yeah, it's cool. But I don't think it's something I want to see on the actual, Monday Night Raw and whatnot, because I like what they're doing with the Balor. Well, I shouldn't say I like what they're doing. I like the idea of what they could do with the Balor Club. They're even throwing out the
Balor
idea.
Club.
Yeah, they just got the chance to form, in under WWE's umbrella. People are saying that they might face the New Day at Mania. That would be cool. I'm sure that would be a good match. I don't know how they'd get there, though. I think that's just pure speculation.
That's weird. I mean,
cross brands and all. It's odd, but they've done stranger things for Mania. So
no, this is true. I mean, I think the idea of Miz Taraj, maybe not a 6-man tag, but having to do like Miz versus Balor for the title, for the IC title, and having just like the club take out Miz Taraj, outside the ring, and having all the calamity and chaos from that. I think that would be. I'd probably find that more entertaining than the New Day. Don't get me wrong. I think New Day would put a hell of a match with them, but just it would seem like a random pairing. Like, hey, what are you guys doing? Nothing. What are you guys doing? Nothing. Come on over for WrestleMania. Like, and I'd see too many freaking pancakes galore.
How many people do you think Shelton Benjamin killed with that gun he found today?
My God.
It was just a little Ruger too,
Yeah, I mean, what an odd story. When I ever saw you put that out today, I'm like, what? I thought it was a joke at first, but no. I mean, he found a loaded gun in his rental car, and he's been driving this thing for 4 damn days.
Wasn't his tweet like really? Oh yeah, here it is. Thank you, Budget, for your great service of putting my reputation, freedom, and quite possibly my life in jeopardy. I've unknowingly been driving in your car with the last 4 days with an effing loaded gun in the glove compartment.
And that could ruin you, because think about it. Even if he could prove, no, this is a rental car, I had no idea, because it has happened before where people had drugs in the car and things like that, and they end up not getting in trouble because it's a rental car. But all it takes is WWE to see a flurry of Shelton Benjamin found with gun or loaded handgun in car. That's all the TMZ report has to say for him to be fired.
Yeah, he even exposed himself in a way. He could have probably kept it quiet, but maybe I don't know. Renegade Joe Compton gave $1. He said, "Breaking news: Yokozuna's corpse will be found in Elimination Chamber." Thanks, Joe Compton. And
oh God.
I think in a way it was better he got ahead of it himself, just in case there was like some report or somebody said, "Oh, by the way, did you hear?" At least this way he could be so far ahead of any speculation whatsoever.
Well, if he's got a gun, he's fine. If it's a little bit of weed, he's completely screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
He has Van Dam.
And where was he? In Florida? Or
good question.
Yeah, he was in Florida, I think, right?
Or was it in Minnesota still?
I'm thinking of Florida because I was watching that space launch all week, and I'm like, that's in Florida.
I was trying to see where. Was it in Minnesota? Because that's where they've been, but.
Well, I know they were in Iowa for Raw, but where were they for SmackDown?
They were in Minnesota
Kansas?
for SmackDown, I think.
Oh, okay.
I thought someone said Kansas.
I might be off, but...
I really thought it was Kansas City. I thought somebody called us and told us that.
You could be right.
Who gives a shit? Somewhere in the Midwest.
It's not here.
Damn those... It was probably Detroit with the Ruger in the car. It was definitely
so
Detroit.
Many people went ahead and replied, and they say the most asinine things like, "Oh, what does it matter?" And how has it affected you? But Randy Orton replied and said, "Oh, # free budget rentals for life," and I thought that was just that was great.
Reckless Jeff in the chat just said Shelton Benjamin joined the Bullet Club.
You literally laughed at that at the same time as me. I was just gonna say that. I was dying. I was like, he joined the Bullet Club, man.
That's good stuff.
And I mean, they wouldn't believe it. I was telling someone like, dude, imagine like that's one of my. I fear weird things. Like false imprisonment is like one of my scariest, like my worst fears. Like you rent a car out and you drive it and you do something weird and you get pulled over, and like the guy is like, "Can I search your car?" Or whatever. And then next thing you know, they bring in drug sniffing dogs and they find cocaine throughout the whole car. But you're like, I just bought this car years ago, you know? What if you bought a car years ago that was meant for a drug thing and you didn't know that, and next thing you know, they're ripping your seats out, finding cocaine everywhere. And you're like, this ain't mine, you know? And
I think I'd be more upset that I didn't get a chance to use the cocaine before they took it. But
imagine how pissed you'd be. Like, not only could I have been snorting that randomly when I was having a bad week, but like now I'm going to jail for some other's bullshit. And someone else is probably rich too. Or maybe they're not because they didn't get it. I don't know. But either way, it's like that's my fear, is like going to jail. And somebody was like, well, if it was a black guy, he's really in trouble. I'm like, yeah, can you imagine the guy being pulled and be like, it's not mine?
Oh, yeah, sure it's not
Shut up. Get in the car, asshole.
Imagine you have all this cocaine and you have a runny nose. So you're like, no, man, I have no.
It's the
I have no idea.
Or even better, you do smoke crack, but like not a lot, and that day you had some, and then they find it layered in all your seats, and you're like, and now you're getting hit for distribution, and you're like, it's not mine.
What about the guy that got busted? I don't know all the details for it, but he had glazed donut like crumbs all over him, and I guess he was just acting funny with the cops, and they were like, oh yeah, sure. He's like, no, it was a glazed donut, and they thought it was either meth or crack, one of the two, and they picked up the flakes on the ground. They're like, oh yeah, look at it, you got dust all over you. But they didn't find any drugs. They just found like residue that was left.
Yeah.
And so on site, I don't know what happened, but the testing either didn't come out right or was inconclusive. So he got arrested and he went through the whole process. When it got sent away for like actual lab testing, then they found out, it's glazed donut. But he got arrested until then and had to deal with all that shit.
Fucking never going to Krispy Kreme again.
If I could, if that guy didn't sue them, or like if I couldn't get money off of that, I would spend the rest of my life prank calling the police station. I'm not even caring. I'd be like, yo, is Sergeant Pecker there? There's no Sergeant Pecker here. We have a Sergeant Paulson. Is that who you're looking for? Ah, Paulson. Yeah, that's it. And then when Paulson comes on the line, just be like, hey, detective, hey. Yes? Hello? Hold on, I'll call you back later. And then just hang up on him. And then just fucking do that every day, like all the time. And
I found the article. The man was awarded $37,000 after cops mistake glazed donut for crumbs for meth.
That's fair. That's actually.
This was in Florida. It sounds like a joke, but keep reading.
Well, it's Florida, dude. Florida. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry to the good cops in Florida. Florida is fucked, bro. This is first of all, Florida was like voted, and not to shit on my friends in Florida, but Florida was like voted like one of the worst states to live here. And the reason why I think it is because you just don't know what a fucking crime is over there. The Florida is like the NFL penalties of the United States. Like, you know, you got Trayvon Martin, like, who is literally like what is the guy, Zimmerman? Zimmerman literally is in his car with a weapon. They tell him not to follow this kid, who we don't know if he committed a crime. He follows the kid anyway, gets out, stalks him, gets into a fight with him, knowing that he has a gun on him and whatever, and then shoots the kid and kills him. He gets nothing. A woman who gets in a fight with her husband because, if she thinks the husband's going to murder her, so she pulls out a gun and fires a warning shot, gets 15 years for, I guess, attempted murder. So a warning shot, because she thinks her husband's going to kill her with a history of abuse, fires a warning shot, gets 15 years. Guy with a weapon who thinks that a kid is breaking into houses or whatever, gets out of the car and stalks him when a 911 caller says, stay in the car, wait for cops. And he's like, oh, no, he's going to get away. I'm going to get out and stalk him. And then they're going to fight.
Escalates it to the point where, you know, it ends up in an altercation and the kid gets killed. That
is my biggest, and you can do that with probably any state. There's probably contradictions in every state and things are all fucked up everywhere. But just there's so much in Florida. It's wild out there. I don't know what's going on down there. I've been there though. I've been to Fort Lauderdale. I loved it. I had a great time in Fort Lauderdale. Loved the place. Seemed pretty cool. But
yeah, I guess in the glazed donut thing, they tested the residue in the crumbs they found on the floor. And he's like, this is crazy. You know, I get a glazed donut every Wednesday. He was going 42 in the 30-mile-an-hour zone, so they pulled him over. And they're like, you want to tell me about? They asked if he could search the car. He said yes. And they were giving him gripe because he had a concealed weapons permit. He told them he had a gun on him. He was, compliant 110%. So they said they tested it, but I guess they never actually did test it. So later on, when they did the DEA testing, when they sent it to a lab, it determined it was just as he said. The white crystals were not a controlled substance. The results did not indicate whether the substance was sweet and delicious, though. So the charges were dropped. He was in jail for 10 hours before being released on bail. And, the record followed him for a while. So he another one where a guy had a field kit show positive for cocaine. He went to jail for 90 days, and it was simply drywall dust. It happens.
How much did he get? How much money did he get? It might not say.
He got $18,000.
90 days, man. You should have got more than that. Fuck his lawyer. Yeah. Fuck that guy's lawyer.
Can you imagine if he got all that money? Like, I got $37,000 in a wrongful drug arrest, and then bought drugs with it.
Yeah. And then got arrested. Told him, no, you did this to me last time.
His buddies over.
Your get out of jail free card. And you say, what happened last time? You guys.
Glazed donut.
His buddies over the house, and they're like, he's got like weed everywhere and stuff. He's like, come on over, man, smoke. He's like, man, this is really cool. Like, how did you get all this shit? Oh man, I got arrested for the false drug charges, so they gave me $18,000. And you
every time the cops try and pull me over, I say, you remember what happened last time? How much you had to pay for the department?
Just keep your Dunkin' Donuts receipt. You'll be good.
Yeah, that's it.
You know who I picture saying that is Dante from Grandma's Boy. Oh no, guy, that got pulled over. Like, so I bought weed with it, bro. Wait a minute. You got arrested because they thought you were smoking crack, so you took the money you got awarded to you to buy marijuana.
Yep.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh god, I used to be able to do that voice. I can't do it anymore. He was great. I'm bronzed. They gotta do. Have you seen the video of him? Like, there was a controversy with him a while ago. I forget, what was it? Was it something to do with the? It was something like racist even or something like that. I don't know. He dropped a. I don't know if he dropped an M-bomb or if he said something else. There was some kind of weird sort of controversy with him, with the guy who plays Dante.
Go figure.
Oh my god!
You can get past a dog. Nobody fucks with a lion. You're getting a lion. I gotta protect my shit.
God damn, I don't remember. Oh, he said violent threats and racial slurs, I guess.
Oh god.
Is that it?
Yeah, like in like it was a TMZ thing. Like they caught up with him and he.
Oh yeah, I just pulled it up. Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Like what?
As a matter of fact.
Can you hear this?
Purple.
No.
Is the color that I see in life.
He said
because
he's talking about purple is the color he sees in life.
As a racist human being, ask who I grew up with, ask my friends, ask my family, ask everybody.
Where'd you grow up at?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, I'm from St. Louis. I don't know everything. I just know what you're doing as an entertainer.
I did a thing with Nelly when his sister died.
I can never tell. Unfortunately, with like white people, it's hard to figure it out because like he grew up. He's like around a lot of black people and stuff, so he like sort of like drops. Like he's like a free spirit. This guy, like the actual Peter.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like I think it's Peter Dante is his name. And he's like a free spirit, so like he'll drop like slurs and N-bombs and stuff, and it's not even like he doesn't even care. Like it's not his thing. He just grew up with it. Like he doesn't even get it. I don't think so. He was doing that for years, and I think recently like it caught up to him somehow. But it's like the you sound the same as a white person who isn't that way. So it's like it's hard to figure people out. But yeah, TMZ went after him and all this crap. I don't know. I think he's a pretty good guy. I don't think he meant anything, but I think he's just a fucking weed head. He's just fucking like,
You should never throw a bong. Never. That movie has so many great lines in it.
Dante, why'd you say the N-word, Dante? I bought this weed from an N-word. like that's the type of like
they call this shit the brown bomber. Why is that? You get so stoned you shit yourself.
God, I have to go back and watch that movie now.
Why
That
don't
movie
they?
was so great.
You know what they
So
should do is like, okay, you can't like don't make a sequel to it because sequels
It'd be
like
awful.
it could be terrible, right? Here's a better idea for Grandma's Boy and for Adam Sandler. If Adam Sandler's watching my show, which he should be, listen, if Adam Sandler's watching this show right now, make a YouTube series. Like really, like where so like every month or something, like or every week or whatever the hell, like a video comes out and it's like different scenes of the characters from Grandma's Boy in everyday life now. Like they're still working on the games and all that stuff.
That's kind of like what Steven Subtic, Philip DeFranco's old, like intern and whatnot that worked for him for SourceFed. Steven has what the hell, Sugar Pine 7 on YouTube, and they do vlogging skits and sketches and all this stuff. But it's obviously they're playing characters. They're supposed to be themselves who are real people, but they do like little parody things. And they tell stories with each vlog that are all connected, but it's supposed to look like a real vlog, like it's true life. But they do all this crazy shit, like they are possessed at one point, but it's funny. But that would be great to see, just like their lives continuing, but just week to week.
Yeah, dude, it'd be so good. Like, don't
awesome.
Just don't whatever they do. Like, don't go back and retell the jokes because I feel like that would be a danger for that movie. Don't you feel like they could go back and tell those jokes like other movies like wink at the old joke and it's like no, like we already get that, like I get it, like but don't do that, like or maybe you can do it once but don't do it a bunch. Like isn't Super Troopers, they've done that, like they've got what's his face in the car and he's like meow haha and like they're like what are you talking about, he's like I remember you guys or whatever, and they're like
yeah they can't like butcher the joke
it's
too
like,
much. Yeah.
It's like you're ruining the joke. Like, don't reference the joke in the new movie because it's so iconic. Don't do that.
Well, I think they did that once where they referenced it and then they like moved on to something else. So it's like, oh yeah, we did that game. That was funny. Remember that? Now let's move, because I don't think they're dumb enough to butcher something and beat it to death.
No, it wasn't that bad. You're right. And the good thing was they didn't do it again. They were just like, we don't remember doing that. And he was like, I can hear you guys talking. He's like, we've been doing that for years. Yeah.
Movie.
So that wasn't bad because that's funny. They made that joke. But yeah, a lot of other movies will do that. They'll retell the joke to reference. It's like we're breaking the fourth wall in a way, and it's weird.
Or they'll try to put a spin on it that really isn't that much of a spin. Like they're it's a different. Not really. You're just changing like one word or some shit like that, and you're just basically doing the exact same fucking joke.
Right. Well, let's go to the phones again. We went off the topic of wrestling, but that's okay. 336, what's up?
Yo, what's up, Joe? This is Sausage, man.
Oh, Sausage. You are amazing. Sausage is like the first one. You realize you're like the first one who comments on everything I ever put out? Like in a minute.
Wow, man, really?
Like all the time you're like the first person. I'm like, there's Sausage.
Yeah, as soon as something gets uploaded, there you are.
What's up, man? What do you got?
So, did you guys watch an okay, Fabe? I know you watched NXT tonight, right?
Sure did.
And did you think it was a good show tonight, or because I didn't get to watch your review, so?
So. It was. Sometimes there are NXTs that flow very well, and some that are like kind of like Raw and SmackDown, where there's parts of it that are good. Like you can pretty much skip 95% of the show except for these one or two moments, and that's kind of what you got. We had, what was it, Sanity and Undisputed Era in a 6-man tornado tag, which was just, I said in my review, the word tornado could not be a stronger fucking emphasis of the phrase, because it was just chaos, because it was no DQ, so they were just going all over the fucking place in center stage. And then the only other big story is that they're going to do Almas on Gargano again, but this time Gargano's putting his career on the line and says that he'll leave NXT if he loses. Other than that, it really wasn't anything else, but that 6-man tag was insane.
Yeah, man. Broken tables, and just all out insanity.
There was a part that I laughed my ass off where Killian Dane, like, he was going to do like a forward flip into one of the guys, and he moved. He just landed into a table and just laid there. It was on the ground. It was like up against the side. It was just it was a silly bump. It was just like, hey, and then that was it. He just like stayed there for 20 minutes. It was very weird. But other than that, it was that's pretty much the big highlight for the show, honestly. Other than that, really not anything else that you missed.
PS Connor was freaking out. It's like, don't spoil. Is he talking about NXT or something else?
I think he's talking about the Gargano match going forward.
Okay, yeah. We'll try
because that's looking like it's going to be epic. That's for sure.
And I just don't. That's the thing is why NXT isn't doing as well anymore for the most part is the show. It's not really that fun to watch it anymore. It's like you're watching a bad version of Saturday morning, like Superstars, because that's how Superstars would be prepared. Like it's a tape show and they have all the segments like eating into each other, but it was better than this. I think the NXT right now weekly show is poorly produced now or poorly edited. I don't like it anymore because of that, because it doesn't flow. I feel like I'm always fast forwarding or trying to find where the content is. Sometimes they re-announce things. They have commercial breaks for stuff that I don't give a shit about, and it really just irritates me. I have found myself I have not been watching it because it's irritating.
I said this a while ago. Like you have the introduction, so they set up whatever the main event's going to be. You get into a match, then they recap what's going to happen for the main event, and then we get the main event. And in between all of that is network commercials, sometimes even like mini recaps for pay-per-views and stuff. And they need less advertising. I mean, it's like a 45, 48-minute show for an hour already as is. So
that's really their biggest struggle is that I think because they're an hour, they have to cram so much shit in because they're not only advertising I've seen shows they're advertising 2 weeks out matches. So they're advertising tonight, next week, the week after, and then like if there's a takeover, if there's a special, if it's like there's a bunch of shit, and then you have to try to tell a story, and then, so it's tricky because like you guys are saying, they're throwing so much shit at you so quick, so that these other shorter squash matches are kind of but then but I feel like every now and then they'll like hit a good peak with a good matchup, and then they'll kind of plateau again. But yeah, I think the fact that it's an hour and they have to squeeze so much shit in there definitely doesn't help.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sausage is 14. I said this in the chat. Sausage is 14. It's like one of the best calls. Like the dude always has an idea, like what he's gonna talk about. He's clear, and it's like, but other people will call. I swear to God, and they'll be like, and the phones will die. But Sausage sitting here 14. He's like, yep. Here's what I gotta say. That's how you call. That's a call. That
Absolutely.
is a freaking call. Bailey barking like a dog. You guys can't hear it, but it's great. Oh my God, Bailey barking like a dog, bro. You're gonna make him bark like a dog on Saturday on Corrupted Podcast. This is gonna be crazy. Jake, are you ready for this battle that you're gonna, whatever debate that you're gonna have with Justin Bailey on Saturday?
Oh, I'm so ready.
I'm ready to narrate again. Jake DeMarco, Justin Bailey.
No, what you could narrate is me doing the Corrupted over on the other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Corrupted Podcast. Over on Corrupted Entertainment, you could narrate the Trash Talk episode 4 with me sort of like setting up Jake as Bailey thinks I set him up. I did set Jake up, but not for anything specific. I was just trying to get Jake uncomfortable, which I feel bad for. You could right off the bat, because we were all talking normally, and then all of a sudden I went, so Jake, this is going on, and he was just like,
people are calling you weird and thinking that you're
I watched it.
Got an agenda.
Yeah, it was so I'm sure.
By the way, nice to see you too, Joe. How are you?
But I'd already spoken to you for 20 minutes or 30 minutes before we went
you started
live.
the show as soon as I called in with that. That's the first thing you said.
No, I know that, but we had already talked normally before that. And then when I started,
as soon as I called in, you're like, "Hey, here's Ken." So people are. I mean, you press the record button, and that's what we went into.
I thought we were on the phones.
No, the very first thing you said is
no. That's how I started the show. But weren't we talking before that for 20 minutes?
No, we literally, you and Ken were. I called in.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was the first thing I got.
Oh, okay. So my other theory was that you were gonna think that I teamed up with Ken and came up with something, but Ken had nothing to do. Ken had no idea what I was doing. He was like, "What is going on right now?"
I could tell that from just the conversation.
Yeah, what humors me more is that Bailey got mad at you, but not Ken.
Oh, that's funny. Well, no one ever gets mad at Ken for anything. Ken does. Of course not. Ken could rape a fucking animal, the animal could be crying, desperation cries, and people would blame me for it somehow.
He'd have his dick in a pack of newborn kittens.
Yeah, it would.
What? I was wildly wrong.
For some reason, I'm just picturing him in the Ryback. Hey, Joe, how's it going? He's just fucking a deer and it's crying.
I got this sound clip of Bailey here. Bailey, what?
I was wildly wrong.
That was him. But so
The article Old Man David put up was almost perfect. I mean, honestly, I stand by like 3/4 of it. Just about everything he lined up there was very well put.
It's going to be big time on Saturday night, man. If you guys aren't a patron, sign up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. This Saturday, nobody books this shit like me. And by the way, I said this earlier, I like Jake and Justin. Like, when my former friends left and shit on me and people shit on me and everyone went to hell, like, I mean, I know Connor was always a good guy too, but other than Jake and Justin, like, came at me, like, what's up, like, we're here, like, out of the woodwork. Like, Justin had been listening to the show, Jake had always been listening to the show, and
yeah, I'd been on recent, like a few months before then. I'd call in regularly and get kept on, and you and I were talking outside of things, and it just, I called in that night, and you guys were fighting with everybody else, and you're like, well, I'm gonna keep you on if that's cool. Like, yeah, sure, and it just worked out.
So I mean, like, I love both of you guys. Like, so it sucks that you're fighting, but especially more on maybe Bailey's side. But it's gonna be epic on Saturday night. We're gonna have Leah here too, because there's some things I think that she doesn't agree with going on here, or whatever.
Break out the Leah coffee mug, and the queen is here.
She'll be here to set the record straight. It'll be crazy. And I didn't think I was going to promote this so much tonight, but I'm going to, because the donations are fucking abysmal right now. So I'm going to promote the shit out of this show Saturday night for patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can hear the show for $1. For $2, you can hear the show live. Also, go back to listen to the YouTube video. But then for $2, you can also download the audio to everything I put up there. And I also found out you can download whether you're on your desktop computer or on your cell phone. On your cell phone, there's a little arrow. It downloads it to your phone. But on computer, you just got to right-click the file link that's right below the title, and then you can just save as audio file to your computer. But on your computer, you can search posts. So if I did 50 episodes of Morning Madness, you can search them through posts and tag. You click the tag, see all the episodes. But on your phone, you can't do that. On your phone, you have to scroll all the way through everything to find things. So I'm still pissed off that Patreon hasn't added a post section with a tag section on your phone. So
that's annoying.
That is annoying. So I would say that if you're like leaving for work and you wanted to listen to like previous episodes or something, that you would basically want to send yourself the copy of the link or something first. Because
surprised you can't do like a playlist on there, because that's what I do with some of my stuff, is that because the tag system is such a bitch sometimes, even on the desktop, is just make a playlist of all the, like, here's the last couple of episodes.
You know what? Blah, blah. You know what, Connor? I am going to do that. I could make a YouTube playlist. The problem is the audio files, though. You can't do that.
I know. Yeah, that's the only bitch about it.
And that sucks. And all my music parodies and stuff like that go up there. So check it out. It's going to be a big show. And speaking of donations, now we're seeing some. So let me pop some up here.
Yeah, Turncoats Unite.
Sasha Banks.
Okay, Monday Nitro with a $2 donation says Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks. I shoot blanks into Sasha Banks. Monday Nitro. Monday Nitro.
Someone said something along the lines of, like, did you know that they named the show Monday Nitro because it sounds very similar to when you say Monday Nitro?
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was. That
that blew my fucking mind. I'm like, you got to be that
ShiBUM. Well, I didn't always think that
the Attitude Era roster is better than the current roster, even NXT. Because they can't draw a single dime. They are all pussies and get injured all the time. Smarks crave their cum for sexual pleasure. They are not real men. Batista would slay them all.
Dildo Thrasher, thank you. Well, first of all, Batista isn't even from the Attitude Era, so that doesn't make any sense. But thank you for the $5, Dildo Thrasher, and becoming a $5 ShiBUM. I would say that, yeah, I mean, the Attitude Era was probably better, but, I mean, NXT is drawing some money, but not Attitude Era money. But I'm not a big fan of Batista, and he was like the Ruthless Aggression era, and I didn't even like that era that much. But that was because I got sour on the company right around that time and got out of there. You know, it's funny, I hear a lot of people now say Eddie Guerrero was their favorite wrestler and stuff, and I'm like, man, I was like, we've moved on from the Shawn Michaels generation and Bret Hart's to the Eddie Guerrero, Benoit, like, almost generation, because they really took over for a while in those early 2000s. I love them too. Eddie Guerrero is one of my top 5. Oh shit, Dolphin on high.
$9 for a fuck, someone donated $9.
I'm getting hard, I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9, I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9, suck my dick.
Yo, I just did a Scott McKinnon.
$9 for a frux.
$9 for a frux.
Look at that Pyro. Connor, will they ever... Dolphin on High. Thank you, Dolphin on High, for the $9. We needed the help. What do you think, Connor? Will the WWE bring back the fucking Pyro into anytime in 2018?
God, no. I would love to see it, especially for Pyro shots like that. But, I mean, it's funny. I saw somebody say that on Twitter, like, oh, they should bring back the Pyro. And then they show the clip from, what was it, WrestleMania 24, where the Pyro went into the crowd. Like, oh, right. God. No, I think it's just not only cost effective, but it's also a huge maybe liability issue too. But I'd love to see it back, especially when you hear like fucking entrance music.
Why can't we just have the basic, even like the basic like, pops, like right at the Titantron, like just a few, like something.
I miss those days back a year ago.
Yeah, I missed those days a year ago. I mean, it's so boring. It literally goes with everything else that sucks, you know, and. It's weird because I never thought you would miss it, you know. They did get overboard with it. I feel like there was just so much of it, and then all of a sudden, but why not just have a little bit, just the bangs, like a couple of the wrestlers. They don't need to have it for almost every wrestler or for many of the wrestlers. Fine, don't have it for all the wrestlers. But when Brock Lesnar comes out, have it for Brock. Maybe have it for AJ because he's the champ. Or
save it for Mania.
Or save it for a special like pay-per-views. Yeah. Maybe have it to begin a Raw or a show again. I mean, I don't know. If this stays gone for a long time, there's going to be a time when we look back at Raws and SmackDowns, especially from years ago, and you see the beginning where it's like pew pew, 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 and you're just like, what the fuck were they? What is this?
I think there's one that I did that where I was doing a retro pay-per-view review and. The Pyro was just insane. Like, I can't remember what it was. I'm like, wow, did they really use that much Pyro in just the fucking opening part of it? And then, especially in the WCW ones where you have fucking Tony Schiavone trying to yell over the Pyro because the fucking commentator booth was right next to it. So it's like, 2-hour wrestling program, blah, blah, blah. Like, fucking.
It's like PUBG trying to talk to your squad when you're in the red zone. You're just like, I found a gun. You know, you're like, you know, just your fuck. There's a car over here.
I found a gun.
Oh my God! By the way,
they used to just use an obscene amount. It's ridiculous.
Guys, I found a scar.
That's so funny that you mentioned that because we'll be playing PUBG tonight. But also, I got this little mini announcement. I got this idea. I am turning my JCS Gaming YouTube channel into a battle royale or battle royal gaming site. So basically, my focus now on my gaming channel, Joe Cronin JCS or JCS Gaming, I'm gonna rename it to something, and I think I'm come up with like a name like Battle Royale or Battle Battalion or something like that. I'm gonna come up with a name. I'm gonna create the whole segment, and I'm gonna have news on mostly those type of games going forward because it's so lost with throwing up random games everywhere, and I'm so into this format right now, and I think so aren't tons of people. I want to cover the news on the game and all that other crap, Jake, and you'll be there with me on it, and Connor will get him in on these games. But that's going to be the direction of that channel. I mean, I'll still play other video games and stuff on there, but I'm going to really
I've been
focus.
obsessed with Fortnite lately. Like it's been very addictive.
I got to tell you, I started with Fortnite, although I did have PUBG like a year ago on computer. I started months ago with Fortnite, and I loved it, and I was playing it, and everybody was like, a lot of my friends were like, yeah, I'm on PUBG instead, and I'm like, really?
And now it's the other way around.
Yeah, see, because I just screenshotted where I told you that I was going to talk to JD because people were worried about him. And right after we talked about that, we went ahead and I said, you're like, oh, what are you up to? I was like, oh, we should play some games. And you're like, yeah, I've been playing PUBG. And you're like, yeah. And I said, you said we should play Fortnite. You know, I said, I'm not good at Fortnite. I've only got a few high finishes. I can't seem to do on it, though. I've been good at PUBG. And you said, I can't figure out PUBG. I don't get it. I just die and no one's around. So I quit.
Sorry, I don't know
and
why
it's funny
Joe
to see
sipping
how
on Capri Sun's fucking hilarious to me.
Wait, what?
It's just funny to see how far you've come in PUBG since then.
Oh yeah, because
since I told you that I was going to check in on.
You know why I didn't do well is because I had it on the computer, and I think it was like glitching or something. I was playing
because it sucked in the beginning too on the Xbox. It was really bad. I mean, and then they updated like the second or third patch, and it made it that much easier to play. But especially switching from Fortnite, like you have to manually reload your weapons and finding gears a lot more.
I suck
there's a lot
at
more to
building.
finding it.
That's why I don't like Fortnite, is because I suck at building. Because like eventually it comes down to building something, and it's like I suck at that, and it's freaking me out. Like Resident Evil, like the worst intense moments of Resident Evil when you're scared of something, like from back in the 1996 days. And it's like you're at the end, there's like 15 people left, and now you gotta start building. And you start building, and then you start getting shot by someone, and I start getting fucking major anxiety, and I'm like, I can't fucking handle this. Like,
I'm laughing because that's the exact same thing. I'm like, fuck, Bill, no, not a rip.
Yeah, and I get angry.
Turn the shit.
I get angry, dude, and then I'm like, fuck! Like, and I get pissed.
True.
But in
the thing was,
PUBG,
like, Fortnite's a little more streamlined because you don't have to worry about finding a helmet and a backpack, and you know what I mean. Like you can hold 5 things and that's it. So you can kind of shuffle things out.
I don't even bother fucking building in Fortnite at all. I at least I try not to. Maybe I get.
You really don't need to often. I mean, you can get away without doing
I don't know. I feel like it's a major thing. I feel like it's a major thing. Like the people that own in that game, the top 10 people know how to build. I can.
Oh, absolutely, and you could build traps and you can set people up. You know, there's a huge skill
gap. Is there a
gap,
practice
basically.
mode? Because I feel like there needs to be like an open world practice mode where you can just sit and fuck around. If I could do that, I would probably get much better at the game. But
PS Carnivore says, "What Resident Evil game do you have to build in?" I think you meant more like the
concept
stress
of like
level.
multitasking.
Yeah, it's the stress level. It's like when it gets like intense and like you're getting freaked out. You know what I mean? Like the first
You've got 2 bullets left and 3 things walking at you, and you don't know where you are, and you don't have any saves.
Switching over to shit. Like I'm like, what button do I fucking? There's the gun. Fuck! I got shot in the head.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I'm not talking about the new Resident Evils, but the old one, like the one that gave you that scary vibe. Although the new one did that too, kind of. The brand new one. They finally captured that again. Because and I know I play FPS games fine. I couldn't finish that myself. I watch people do it, but I physically couldn't do it. It made me so just nauseous to play. Even when I turned the camera shake off, it was something about the perspective that I couldn't do it. I would get in there for like 20 minutes and it would make me sick. I've never had that happen with any other game.
Having a bad day? Well, Resident Evil, fucking.
Oh my God! Moki in the chat said, "I know we knew about this. Especially Jake did it. He sent me the patch notes earlier. But they just patched PC so it's not so loud in the red zone. PC servers are overwhelmed. Yeah. PC's so good. It looks so good on PC. My computer, dude. I built a pretty goddamn good computer, and at this point, my computer really cannot handle PUBG. It can, but it's not the best. And that's how good that's how crazy the game is. So that's why Xbox, it looks like shit ass. But let me take a phone call if you guys want to get back to wrestling.
Optimize it better. It would be such a better experience.
Even if they can optimize it so it looks like the PC on Xbox One X, I'll get the Xbox One X. If it looks like it does on the PC, or I would totally get that. But right now, what the fuck? 812, what's up?
Hey, it's Joe Compton.
Joe Compton? Got my initials, JC. What's up?
Hey, if that deal with Bailey and even anybody, if they can't make it on the show, man, send me a DM, let me know. I'd be more than happy to fill in for them and take that belt off Leah.
Oh, Jesus. Look at Joe Compton's really fishing for the votes here.
Yeah, he wants to go and take everybody out.
But if you ever need a fill-in, just let me know. It could be last minute, man.
All right, Joe. I'll keep you in mind, my friend. You got JC. You never know with the JC initials. Thank you to Joe Compton, bro. 812, Joe Compton. Thanks for the call, man. You hear that, Joe Compton? He might be coming for Leah's title.
After seeing what she did to you, I'm not fucking with Leah.
Yeah.
Nope, no waterboard. By the way, the The iron part, I just gotta say this: when she hits you with the iron, that was probably my favorite part of the whole thing because I got flashbacks to Home Alone. I know that,
yeah, you and I were talking about that. We were dying laughing when we saw that. It was
so
great.
good.
Hey, Flame Mods, thank you, dude, for the super chat. I appreciate it, Flame Mods. Oh, Skyler, oh God, here he is.
What was great, especially when Roman Reigns went crazy and pulled out his penis. I like Roman Reigns' penis. My name is Skyler Fat. I'm a fat fucking faggot.
Yo, Fortnite is better in my opinion, but sup to the chat. Just dropping in real quick, so once again, yo.
Oh, man, just call me Luke. What's up, man? It's been a while since I've heard from you, Luke. How you been, dude? I hope you're good. Thank you, my friend. I like PUBG better, but I'm also a little biased. It also depends. If I'm playing with a group of friends on Fortnite, it's going to be funner. If I'm playing with people on PUBG, it's going to be funner. So, you know, I mean, the games are fun to play with people. So, and I loved Fortnite. So, like, going back to that story, I loved it. And then I just, eventually, like, I've been having, like, PUBG is so fucked that it's fun. Because it's so weird. Like, it's like, I feel like Fortnite, it's more like you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. It's harder to shoot, but it looks beautiful, and it's very whatever. But in PUBG, it's like, I feel like I could die for no reason. I feel like things could glitch. And that's the weirdest thing, is like some of that bizarreness is what makes it funner for me. The imperfections are what make it shine.
Yeah, I can see that.
In a dumb way. I don't know why.
No, that's not dumb. That's entertaining.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, like, seriously, that's why, like, Call of Duty and stuff, it's like, I don't even, it's so boring to me now. Like, they're all, it's like, all right, whatever. They're all
I more
gonna
enjoy the tactical aspect to it. But, I mean, not that Fortnite doesn't require tactics, too, because, like you said, the building comes into play and there's things like that, but I don't know. I like the more military aspect.
Eventually, I'll probably go to PUBG, but for now, I'm just getting used to Fortnite first, and then I'll probably make the jump.
They're both really, really good. I mean, from what I've heard, it seems like people seem to like Fortnite 70% more. Like, I would say if I put out a poll, 70% say Fortnite, 30 or 40% say PUBG. But
yeah, it might be a popular thing.
But I like both of them. I do like both of them. I just, right now, I'm on a more of a bender for PUBG. But let's get back to wrestling. Let's close it out with wrestling. And I mean, this is the sort of talk we'll get on Thursday nights when we do our new show. But
yeah,
so we previewed that.
I was going to bring up two mini things here. The reason why they had Elias pin John Cena on Raw, according to Dave Meltzer, is that they're going to go ahead and build towards a match of John Cena and Elias at WrestleMania itself.
Whoa.
Which I would be okay with. I think they could both put on a good show. I think the feud building up to it would be good. It could be interesting because we don't have many other possibilities for Cena at this point in time. It seems like Undertaker so far is not going to be wrestling at Mania. So I'm taking that as a good thing. I didn't either, but with the Elimination Chamber match, I guess they're going to have them, do something then with each other, have another altercation, and go from there.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I would not have thought they would have given it to them at WrestleMania, but I mean, shit, good for Elias. Imagine that. Like, even if he loses, seriously, that's a good push for him.
Absolutely. I mean, you're facing John Cena. It certainly could build you in the right direction. I'd like to see him win as well.
Me too.
Going forward, like Joe said, the night after WrestleMania should be huge for Elias. Joe's been saying this for weeks now.
Yeah,
I kind of
think
agree.
The night after, dude, I've been for I think a month. Like the night after WrestleMania, like they may keep Elias heel, but the night after WrestleMania, that fucking crowd, yeah, dude, who wants to walk with Elias? And I'm telling you, man, the post WrestleMania crowd, like the people are gonna be freaking out, dude. It's gonna be crazy the night after WrestleMania for Elias. It's going to be
it's getting that level, well, close to that level now. But when you put the Raw after WrestleMania crowd in there, yeah, it's going to be. I was there for 32, and that crowd was insane. So if it's anything like that, it's he's gonna be super over that night, no doubt about that.
And what they do with him then on is going to be up to them. Whether or not they go, oh, it's the night after WrestleMania, so give him a moment, and then we'll get back to things as usual. It's like, no. let the world see this reaction and then go with it more. But I think they're getting it with him for sure. They seem like they definitely know, like that that people are like it's like Rusev Day, you know. But again, why do sometimes things like Rusev Day or Wade Barrett's gimmick? Why does some of those things like get shoved away? Like we don't want that. Why is this getting over? It was supposed to be stupid. And this, I feel like it's with Rusev Day too. Like, let me do this Rusev Day thing. Oh yeah, okay, whatever, whatever. Do that, fine. We don't even care. And then it gets over, and they go, "Oh, why is this getting over? Fuck this."
Didn't Barrett say in an interview like the reason they could put the kibosh on it was because it was getting over?
That's what it felt like. It felt like they gave him this dumb thing, and then they were like, "Wait a minute, like why is this getting over?" Yeah, fuck this.
I think he said in an interview, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said in an interview, like straight up, that the reason they nixed the Bad News Barrett was because legitimately they said, you're getting cheered and we can't have that happen. I'm like, are you dumb? Like, I would just think from a business perspective, if for nothing else, like this is obviously generating, like Rusev merch is the hottest thing right now. Fucking, from what I'm hearing, Rusev Day calendars sold out like that.
Yeah, they went quick.
Yeah, like just from a business perspective, you would think, okay, if something's hot, you follow the trend, even if it's a temporary pattern, even if it's if it's just a fad in wrestling, fucking follow it and milk it for as much as you possibly can before killing it off.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think one thing is they were like jerking off to Roman Reigns at the time, and they were anything that got in the way of that, they like freaked out, and I feel like. Maybe now they haven't given up, but they've sort of like given up. Like, you know what, we got to take what we get. So maybe that's why now they will push Rusev Day, I guess. But if they don't, it's like what are they doing? And you're gonna find out with Elias and Rusev Day, depending on how those two things go. If those get killed from within, then I am deeply concerned with this company at this point.
Yeah, absolutely,
no doubt about that.
Well, guys. Jake, is there anything else you want to mention before we move over to PUBG and get out of here?
Yeah, just simple things. Brock Lesnar is going to be facing The Miz at the Target Center in Minneapolis. That's going to be a live event, so that should be a cool match. Too bad we weren't going to get to see that.
Man, they love putting Brock in these weird live event matches.
Yeah, first they'll be facing Kane, then it's going to be,
back in the day, like I would go to live events hoping to see Hogan, and you'd never would ever see that ever. And now, like, this is basically the guy they sort of treat like the Hogan. It's special. He's got the belt. And they put him on the house shows.
Yeah, but that's to sell live events, I get your point, though. Discussion we got to have soon is WWE finally ready for an off-season, at least in some capacity?
No. I don't think
they need an
thing.
off-season, but I think they need to reduce house shows because you've got, we started to say this the other day, there's so many injuries.
They have to work on they do have to work on their rotation of how many, they should cut down wrestlers' performance days for sure. I don't think there needs to be an off season, but there needs to be a
reduced
schedule. Yeah, there you go. But not like, oh, we're gonna take a month off. Like that'd be I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't think they need time off in that sense, but I do think that they should only focus on the actual live television tapings, not the house shows.
I mean, if you did like every other weekend, one of the other brands does a weekend show. Because they're doing what, Monday, Tuesday. I think they do Wednesday and Thursdays. They're off, and then it's like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They usually run 3 shows, and it's both brands. And when SmackDown does house shows on Mondays and Raw does house shows on Tuesdays, so it's not like everyone's taking any fucking time off. So, if they dwindle it down and just did like maybe Friday and Saturday shows only, and they rotated like Raw does one and SmackDown does the other, as opposed to that's what fucking 12 shows a week.
Exactly.
Right?
You figure how many people are traveling between different places for different things,
and that's not counting
media appearances and autograph signings and
WWE.com things. And we're filming something. We need you to do an interview now, and go out to Nike, and there's a thing at the Nike store with Carmella.
Oh, I know you were live on Raw, but now you're going to go do the Mixed Match Challenge. Then you're also going to be you're going to be going to the Mixed Match Challenge after you were showing up for a house show. Yep. They've done that too. I forget who it was. I think it was Braun was at the Raw house show and then went from the house show to the Mixed Match Challenge. So
and
he was
then
on
even
Raw,
get started on
house
WrestleMania
show.
weekend.
Yeah. it's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but they really can't cut stuff right now because that's a lot of income that they lose.
But
sadly,
the house shows, I feel like that they dip a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean the attendance isn't the best, yeah, but I think they still make money, right? I mean, like on every show, I would think.
They're not losing money, but I mean, compared to I think the past, I mean, if maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I don't know for sure where these house shows are running, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, some of them are smaller, but some of them are the big arenas, and I'm assuming that WWE, gets a hell of a break on the rental of the arena. I'm sure they're taking days where the arena would have had nothing going on anyway. So it's like, hey, we'll come in and grab your arena. Let us rent the building today. And I don't know what they rent it for. Did we ever come to that conclusion, Jake? Didn't we have numbers on the rental? Like it was $5,000, $10,000 to rent the building?
Something like that. I don't have it in front of me now, but we did go through it all. And basically it cost something like $900,000 to run an episode of Raw, and they've got it down to as low as like 804,000, but
I know that
it's
the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, Joe, here up near us.
Yeah.
I actually worked with a show before where they were actually they were looking to run a wrestling show there, and I think just running at that venue alone is I think $40K with security and all that crazy crap on there. Just there alone would be about 40.
That's not too crazy. I mean, like Jake just said, like not $800,000 cost to run Raw, right? If you have the average ticket being $60,
you break even,
and you sell 10,000. Yeah, you sell 10,000 tickets. That's $600,000. So now you're missing.
But that's right.
You're missing $200,000 still. But then if you do merch, if you say like only, say like 2,000 people spend at least $20 on merch. I think that's only $40,000.
True, but it's a smaller venue too, a much smaller venue compared to like the Garden or something.
Yeah, I mean Lowell Memorial Auditorium probably that would be a great place to run, because if it's $40,000, and the average ticket is $30, and you sell 5,000 tickets,
it's about what it was for us to go to the 205 live show. We were like 8th row ringside, so yeah.
Yeah, you would make $100,000 profit right there, and then on all the shop merchandise and shit.
So that wouldn't be too bad. But I mean, if they ran shows like that compared to like a Garden show, that might be better for them.
I'm assuming that does happen, that they make more money at the Garden shows, but they actually probably take home more money in like Dunkin' Donuts Arena or something like that.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, so those places want them to come there. So I'm assuming that it all ends up evening out. I bet you they could even end up breaking even if they rent out Madison Square Garden for a Raw or whatever. Like it's like they done that? They don't do that. They don't do Madison Square Garden for a Raw. When's the last time Raw ran Madison Square Garden? Probably
God.
I don't even know if they even did. They've done WrestleMania there, obviously, like 3 or 4 times, but 3 times.
Man,
they just do house shows
on the Rumble
shows,
there.
so.
Yeah.
They've done house shows there?
Oh, they always do house shows there, and they just did one recently.
You're right. Brock Lesnar ran one a year ago, right? I think.
Oh yeah, it was that was a fucking network special, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that probably cost them a lot of money. Like, and they might have even, that might be something where you break even, because that place probably cost $1 million or not.
That wasn't not Fastlane.
No, it was a network
special, wasn't it? When Triple H faced
that
was for the title?
that was Roadblock.
Roadblock.
Yeah, but that wasn't.
But that wasn't. Yeah, that was. It was a small place, wherever that was.
October of 2015.
That's how long ago that was.
Yeah, it was Brock Lesnar and Big Show. Yeah.
No, yep, you're right. I remember that match now. I remember because they were like, oh, it was a huge deal, Brock Lesnar, and yeah,
my life is fucked. I thought that was like last year.
No, I remember it wasn't a bad match either.
Like it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I see live events. Like there was one recently, the day after Christmas, Roman Reigns versus John Cena and stuff like that. So I mean, they go there for house shows often, but not as far as live shows go.
I'm trying to see if there's any other history in terms of WWE TV in Madison Square Garden, but I don't see it. I think that was the last one.
Yeah, it was WWE Live from Madison Square Garden. That was, like you said, October 3rd, 2015. And there was 20,000 in attendance.
I mean,
holy cow.
That kind of sells itself, though. That really does.
That's so nutty, dude. That's so wild. All right. Anything else real quick before we head over to PUBG on Twitch?
That's good.
We're good. Guys, check out Connor's channel, man. Go give him a sub. He's got a great channel over there. YouTube.com/OKFaber. But it's OKFabe. Just search OKFabe on YouTube. And his face is always glowing like it is right there. And
it's the cocaine.
He also doesn't have pants on.
Never. Never.
And Jake DeMarco. Jake DeMarco's channel, youtube.com/countdownended. And he's going to battle Justin Bailey unwillingly this Saturday night on Corrupted. It's going to be amazing.
Kicking and screaming.
Sign up on Corrupted now. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be live. We don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. And also this Friday night's monetized this, so get ready for that. It's going to be fucked up. And now we're going to move over to PUBG. So come join us on twitch.tv/Joe Cronin JCS on Twitch. The links are all in the description below. If you're like, what the fuck do I do, Joe? Well, it's all down below. So come on over there. This YouTube channel link is going to go down. The show's going to go down. But we're going to remain live on Twitch. Come help us out and try to get us partnered on Twitch. I'm working really hard to get that done. I'm spamming the Twitch in the chat so you can find it. The link, yada yada, blah, blah, blah. We had a lot of fun. There wasn't a whole lot of wrestling news this week. We'll be back next week with Out of Nowhere on Wednesday night. And Justin Bailey, tell us again.
I was wildly wrong.
Thank you, Bailey. Just call me Luke. Thanks for the 1212. Shout out to Flame Mods. Congrats on 1,000 subs, bro. And if you guys want to donate tonight, the donation links will all still stay up so that we can get your weird, fucked up donations, comments, and anger, and whatever the hell you want to say tonight while we're streaming PUBG. Come support us over on Twitch. Hit the sub button. Maybe you can sub to the channel on Twitch. We'll have a subscription party on Twitch. It's free to sub. If you're a Amazon Prime member, it's free for you to sub to me, but I get paid. So that's the cool part. If you give a shit and you like it, do it up. PUBG stands for Penises Under Bodily Gardeners.
We'll go with that.
And shout out to SSGSS Dane in the chat. What's up?
What the fuck, bro? I love how you guys can't hear the sound effects I play, so like I just laugh at nothing. All right,
I'm used to watching you listen to the voices in your head, so
yeah, I do have them. There's something wrong with me. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening to Out of Nowhere, episode 89. We're coming up to 90 next week. It's gonna be crazy. And we got Wolf playing with us too. Motherfucking Wolf is in the house. Someone said the borderline racist Wolf. Nah, Wolf just has no filter. He's fucked. Come join us over on Twitch, guys. We'll see you there.